good morning, Anderson High School.
I'm Carlos.
And I'm Carlos.
And this is Carlos and Carlos in the morning. Seniors, remember, senior portraits are due November 19th, so get that done.
And this week at Anderson, we have a girls' varsity golf tournament at Georgetown today.
Cross country's at regionals in Arlington. Hope they win. Good luck to you guys.
Yeah, go out and support them if you can, and hard, I guess. So, Derrick Rose, we all know he got hurt first playoff game against the 76ers. He tore his ACL, and he's going to be out for at least half of the season. How do you think the Bulls fare with him this year?
Watch the first game of the season. Joakim Noah stepped up, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that every day.
Yeah.
So, I think if the sooner that Derrick Rose can get back, the better.
Yeah.
So, I think they're going to do pretty good, but once he gets back, I think that's when we're going to be able to make a big push for the playoff.
I feel like if they can just hold on in the first half of the season and get some wins and then still be in contention, once they get Derrick Rose back, they'll be able to make a playoff run.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, which team more likely to make wild card spot? Either the Eagles or the Saints?
So they're playing on Monday night, of course, and I think the Saints are. I feel like if they can get their running game going, last year they were first in the league at this point in the season. This year they're second to last. So I feel like that's the key. And their offensive line, they have 3 key injuries out and 3 rookies in. So if they can get that up, protect Michael Vick, who I don't think the real problem in Philadelphia is, and get LaShawn McCoy the ball more, I feel like they'll be posed to make a playoff run.
What's the problem then if you don't think it's Michael Vick?
I feel like it's the offensive line because he's getting hit every play. LaShawn McCoy can't get the push to get through the run, and I feel like that's really the reason because they have a good receiving core and their defense needs to work too for their defensive line. They've only gotten like a handful of sacks this season.
All right, so you're taking the Eagles.
I'm taking the Eagles
for the wild card spot. All right, I'm taking the Saints because it's Drew Brees. I think Drew Brees is the best quarterback in the league.
He still is a veteran quarterback.
Yeah, he is. And though he didn't have a good game against the Broncos, it's just one bad game. Everybody has those. The Broncos, the Saints, I feel like they're going to be able to fix all their problems and just start winning. I mean, once I feel like
a lot of desperation in your
but when the Saints start winning, the fans are behind them, and it just seems like they're unstoppable.
Yeah.
So once they get the fans back in the game, I feel like Drew Brees and the Saints are going to be able to make that final push and make it to the wild card spot.
Important to note, the Super Bowl this year is in New Orleans, so if they can somehow find there, that's a big advantage because New Orleans is a big home court advantage for the Saints.
Yeah, it is.
So, moving on, the head coach for UT football, Mac Brown, he's been having some up and down games this year coaching. Do you think his job is in jeopardy?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. They had the same questions. This is the same question that popped up last year when they weren't able to win. They had a 500 season. The thing is if they do fire him, who are they going to bring back? Who are they going to fill? Like, who's going to fill his shoes? I feel like he's done so much for this team that I don't know who they're going to put in his spot.
Exactly. I feel like if anything, because this late in the season, you have to stick with your personnel.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe after the season, because when you're that veteran of a coach, he's been there for a very long time. He's won some national championships, but when you're having back-to-back even seasons that are just mediocre and you're just barely getting over 500 or your team isn't really performing where a veteran coach is like you're not seeing the advice getting through, I feel like maybe they might want to make a shift up because they pay him so much money that if he isn't producing, it's time to maybe get someone new.
But do you feel like it's the quarterback a little bit? I mean, they haven't had a good quarterback in, I guess here in Austin it seems like longer, but maybe 3 years. And also, the team's really young. They really are. So maybe give it another year or two.
Yeah.
But I feel like the more this continues, the bigger the question it will get.
The question's already been asked, so like it's only going to get asked more. I feel like he definitely should shape up, though.
All right. Going into our picks, we're going to start off with the NFL. Dallas versus Atlanta. Atlanta's 7-0. Dallas, I believe, is 3-4. I'm going to take Dallas because I feel like Dallas always wins the games that they're really not supposed to win. And in that case, I guess 7-0 and 3-4, you would think Atlanta's going to win. But it's at Atlanta. It's going to be a little tough one. I think it's going to be close. And just to make a bold prediction, I'm thinking last-minute field goal for Dallas.
Last-minute field goal? Maybe a mistake by Atlanta. The turnovers, they haven't had too many this year, but they've been controlling that. So I feel like Dallas, they're such an up-and-down team. You don't know when Tony Romo's going to be good. You don't know when those receivers are going to catch the ball or even run the right routes. So I feel like they had a push this weekend when they were at home, but going on the road to Atlanta at such a hostile environment, that fan base, that they want to win because under Matt Ryan era, they still haven't gotten a win in the playoffs. I feel like Atlanta's just going to stay on a roll, at least for this game.
All right, moving on to Baltimore versus Cleveland. Baltimore is having the major questions on defense. Ray Lewis is out. Terrell Suggs just got back. Ed Reed is a little, he's kind of shaken up a little bit.
Yeah.
Cleveland, Whedon. Both their rookies, Whedon and Richardson, are doing pretty good. But Richardson's just got back off of an injury. But even with them being rookies and being a little bit injured and all that, Baltimore's defensive problems are just
There's
like
gaping holes. In
there's gaping holes, and Richardson's a very good running back, and Baltimore's running defense is not good at all.
Mm-hmm.
Expect Richardson to have a big game, and I'm taking Cleveland over Baltimore.
I'm taking Baltimore. Coach Harbaugh is such a good coach, and he's had a bye week. They had the bye week last week to prepare for this Cleveland team who, they're really not veterans. It's a team full of rookies, basically. So I feel like he's had enough time to see what they do, and that Baltimore's going to have a resurgence here. But where they are for the rest of the season, I don't know. They're not going to do fare too well. So going on to NCAA football, the first matchup we're looking at is UT going to Texas Tech to play. Who do you pick?
Texas, too many problems. Just too many problems. And the
many
fact that it's in Lubbock is not helping anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
Tech, I know they lost to Kansas State, but Tech, they're a better team than Texas. Oddly enough, I didn't expect them to be this good.
Mm-hmm. They always seem to sneak up on teams.
Yeah, so I'm just going to take Tech over my beloved Longhorns. Sorry, but going with the Red Raiders.
I'm probably going to have to take the Red Raiders, too. They've been pretty strong this season, and I feel like the roll is just going to continue, especially after that embarrassing home loss to Kansas State. They played at Kansas State, so I feel like they're going to get back on track here. What about looking at the Pac-10 matchup of the week, Oregon versus USC? At USC, who are you picking?
I can't stand USC. I just can't. And I love Oregon. I love their speed.
Mm-hmm.
And who doesn't like their uniforms? Those are the coolest things ever. And DeAnthony Thomas. I love DeAnthony Thomas. His speed, no one can stop him. I mean, every time he touches the ball, you think he's going to score. Now, USC's been having trouble stopping the run. That's all Oregon. Oregon is run. That's basically what they are. Mm-hmm. So I'm taking Oregon over USC.
I'm going with you, too. I can't pick against Oregon. They're such a strong team this year. And I feel like they've really got it figured out, and they control their own destiny. If they win out, then they're definitely we're gonna be seeing them in the
what's funny is Oregon's young just as Texas is.
Yeah.
I just feel like Oregon has players that can play.
They're very well coached. Yeah.
Yeah.
So looking at the last game in the SEC, Alabama versus LSU at LSU. We know Alabama has just such a strong team. I'm taking Alabama here because this LSU has had a lot of questions. Zach Mettenberger, I don't know if he's really the guy to get it done in Baton Rouge. So I'm picking Alabama here. They're just too professional of a team.
Yeah, Alabama. Do I even need to explain why who's going to win this game? LSU questions all around.
Yeah.
I know they're winning games, but there's just so many questions.
Yeah.
They don't even have any motivation on their defensive side. Once they lost Tyrann Mathieu, I feel like that...
They don't have a veteran leader.
And then they lost Morris Claiborne,
Absolutely.
another great cornerback. Alabama's too strong. They're strong every year. I think they're going to win a national championship against Oregon, but in this game right here, Alabama's going to be LSU.
All right,
going to the NBA. NBA just started. And so we're gonna go ahead and just make some picks of Miami at New York. New York Knicks. Miami, they just won the NBA championship, and New York Knicks, I feel like they still have questions. Carmelo and Stoudemire, I don't feel like they have any chemistry there. So and Miami, they just reloaded. They reloaded. Ray Allen, Rashard Lewis, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bott.
Yeah.
It's Miami.
They're just a star-studded team. You can't pick against Miami. I'm going Miami this week. Easy pick.
Yeah. All right. LA versus LA. LA Clippers at, well, I guess it's in the same city, but
LA
Clippers at Lakers. Lakers, they just got Dwight Howard and Steve Nash. Kobe's still playing, still looking good.
Yeah, he's still at a high level.
Chris Paul, Blake Griffin.
They're young. They have a lot of experience, but I feel like they're still pretty inexperienced in most of the key areas, especially in clutch games. I'm picking the Lakers here because they're a veteran team with Dwight Howard now and Steve Nash. Those are all they've been in the league for a while. Yeah. And I feel like they're going to be able to get it done.
And Dwight Howard's finally happy, so
absolutely,
let's hope. Let's see if they can get a push. I kind of want to see a Lakers-Miami game.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all for today. Thank you for watching.
This is Carlos and Carlos in the Morning. Have a good one.
See ya. That was better.